Hello, my dear students. Good morning, students. Let's start reading the next part of this chapter number 8. As you know, we dropped the chapter at this word them. It was the last word which we had attended in the last lecture. So now starts reading the chapter from this passage. He. This is the pronoun he. This the word he in this line stands for here Sophie's elder brother Geoff. He sat frowning at the oily component. The word frowning refers to here look at something with wrinkled brow. B-R-O-W, brow means forehead. Look at something aggressively or in a confused state of mind like this. He sat frowning at the oily component he cradled in his hands, as though it were a small dumb animal and he was willing it to speak. Bete, on the one hand, Geoff was looking at some oily component, means some oily spare part. The spare parts which he had already spread on the newspaper and which he had already taken out from his motorcycle and also had been washing them, had been repairing them, had been servicing them for a long time. So one of those all spare parts was in his hands, and he was tossing, he was moving, throwing something up and down here and there. So he was cradling that the oily component in his hands, as though means as if it were a small dumb animal, as though that the oily component was a dumb, that the oily component were a small dumb animal for him, as if he had taken it as a dumb animal, and he was willing it to speak, and he was also trying to speak to that oily component while sitting on the floor and looking at that the oily component in a very confused state of mind. Geoff was playing with that spare part as if it were a dumb animal. And he was also trying to speak to that oily component. It was just like an entertaining moment for Geoff. At the same time, on the other hand, at the same moment, Sophie also opened her voice and she spoke something to her brother. So Sophie told her brother that she had met Danny Casey. He looked around abruptly. Where? When Sophie told about her meeting with Danny Casey, Geoff got highly alarmed, and being so much stunned, alarmed, he fastly turned his eyes here and there. All around him, very quickly, very abruptly, very briskly, actively, and then asked where, and then asked her where she had met him in her life. In the arcade, funnily enough. In response to Geoff's question, Sophie told him that she had met Danny Casey in the arcade. The word arcade stands for here a densely populated, or you may say such a market which is surrounded by, which is crowded by, or which is covered by high buildings and shops, etc., where there is no proper space, Okay, one could hardly find any proper visibility there. So, in such kind of market, the word arcade also refers to the passage which is covered by long branches of trees, etc. So, in the arcade, funnily enough, so while responding to her brother's query, Sophie told him that she had met Danny Casey in the arcade, in such a market where there was very little space, okay, which was always overpopulated or crowded, and it was also a very strange moment for her, okay, to meet him as she had never expected. So, and it looked really so much funny to her. That's why she told him that it was really a very strange moment for her. It's never true. It's never true. Hearing it all, from Sophie's side, Geoff told her that she could not be considered as a right girl in her statement, as she was not speaking the truth. He wanted to say her that she was not speaking the truth. She was telling a lie. Okay? It was not true. It could never be true. It could never be true. I did too means here through the statement, Sophie emphasized it, saying that she had met Danny Casey whether he agreed or disagreed. It depended on him. But she had met him in the arcade. You told that? Again, one more question was given to Sophie by Geoff. Okay? And through that question, he wanted to know whether she had told about her meeting to their father or not. She shook her head. When Sophie heard the voice of her brother, she got badly afraid of the statement. She got badly scared of the statement, scared of her father, and she nodded her. She shook her head negatively, saying that she had not told anything about her about her meeting, okay, with Danny Casey to her father. She shook her head refers to here, okay, Sophie told Geoff that she had not told anything about her meeting to her father. Chastened at his unawareness. What is chastened at means being so much annoyed, being so much sick of her brother's unawareness. Unawareness refers to here foolishness. Sophie really got so much irritated when she came to know that her brother was really a foolish person, a foolish child. That he was always, since he had not come to know that he was always the first to share her secrets. Sophie got badly angry at that point that her brother had not realized by that time that he was the only person in her family with whom she always shared her deep secrets of life. She always shared the deep secrets of her life with him only, not with any other person. And when she came to know that her brother had not understood her such kinds of feelings, she really lost her patience and she became so much angry. Okay, I don't believe it. Anyhow, whatsoever Sophie thought of her brother, but it didn't matter to Geoff, and Geoff told her very frankly that he didn't believe her story. He didn't believe her such kind of fake story, wild story. There I was looking at the clothes in Roy's window. But through this statement, through this short passage, Sophie wanted to foster some more confidence in the heart, in the mind of her brother, so that he could trust her voice. Okay, there I was looking at the clothes in Roy's window. The word Roy's, as you can see here, the letter R is in capital. So here, this the word represents here a particular shop, garment shop, a shopping complex, etc. So while telling something about her meeting with Danny Casey, Sophie narrated the whole story regarding her meeting, and she told her brother that it was the time, or it was that on some day in the past, okay, she was quite busy looking at the clothes in Roy's window in that particular shop of clothes garments, when someone came. All of a sudden, some person, some man, somebody came to her and stood beside me, and she also told her brother that the person had not only come to her, but he had also stood by the side of her. And I looked around. As soon as she found someone standing by the side of her, by her side, she, okay, got highly wondered. She got highly surprised who had come there and stood there by her side. So she looked all around her and noticed and looked at the face of the person and who should it be but Danny Casey. So now, at that time when she looked at the at that person's face, so she found that, oh, it was nobody else but it was Danny Casey. So in order to foster, in order to win the confidence, in order to put her confidence into the mind of her brother, Sophie spoke so many words. Sophie had to describe such kind of all details regarding her meeting with Danny Casey. Though she had not met Danny Casey, it was her only imagination, and she had already made such kind of fake story on her part. It was not possible for her to meet such kind of great footballer, but anyhow she wanted to meet him also, and she had already liked him. She had been a great fan of Danny Casey, and she wanted to meet him. She thought that she had met him. Okay, turn the page, bete. All right, what does he look like? Anyway, forgetting it all, whether his sister was telling a lie or speaking the truth. Okay, Geoff got agreed to her statement, but again he asked her what kind of person he was, how Danny Casey looked like, whether she would like to present whether she would like to tell him something about Danny Casey's physical specimen, physical structure or not. Oh, come on, stand close to me. You know what he looks like. So calling the attention of her brother towards her, and also requesting him to come very near to her, Sophie told him that if he did not know anything about him, she would like to tell him what kind of person he was and how he looked like. Close to. Again she requested her brother to be very close to her, so that no other person could hear her story, no other person could know about her meeting with Danny Casey. Though she was sitting at her home at that time in the room of her brother, in some room at their home, but she did not want anyone to listen to her story. That's why she requested her brother. She might have requested her brother that he should be very close to her, so that she could tell him the story. Well, tell him the natural behavior and tell him about the physical formation, natural behavior, and some other things, okay, of Danny Casey's life. Well, he has green eyes, gentle eyes. While describing the features, features of Danny Casey, Sophie told Geoff, her elder brother, that Danny Casey, we should not use the proper noun again, that he had green eyes, gentle eyes. The word gentle eyes stands for eyes which always had some shyness, and the word gentle eyes stands for very sincere and sensible eyes. Okay, नम नज़रें जिसको कहते हैं, विनम्र नज़रें, झुकी हुई नज़रें, and he is not so tall as you would think. She also told her brother that Danny Casey was not so tall in his height. If he had taken him as a tall man, no, he was not very tall in his height. He was a man of medium height, 160. I think so 68 centimeters height. I think Danny Casey is a man of 168 centimeters height. Okay, she wondered if she should say about his teeth. She also since one more thing had been left out, and she wanted to tell something about his teeth also. So she got highly confused. Thinking whether she should tell her brothers Geoff something about Danny Casey's teeth or not. Okay, but decided against it. Stands more rare, but she decided that she should not tell anything about his teeth, and she kept that the matter, okay, in her heart, in her mind. Their father had washed when he came in. By that time, Sophie and Geoff's father had already taken his bath, had already washed his body, which had been fully dirty, which had been fully soily, because he had already worked in his fields for all day long. So when he came in, by that time Sophie's father had already washed his body, okay, soily body, and he then having bathed, or you may say having taken bath properly and washed his body, okay, when Sophie's father entered their room hastily, and his face and arms were shiny and pink, and he smelled of soap. This time when Sophie's father entered Geoff's room, okay, he looked so nice, he looked so handsome at that time, because there was no dirtiness on his face and body, and he smelled of soap also, since he had used a kind of soap. That's why one could feel the smell of a soap also when he entered the room. Their father had washed when he came in. When stands for before he came in. By the time Sophie's father stepped into that room in which Geoff and his sister Sophie were already sitting. So before he entered the room, he had already taken his bath, and now he looked so nice, so handsome, okay, and each and everything looked so impressive, and one could also smell the smell of soap also. He switched on the television as soon as Sophie's father entered the room. He switched on the television, tossed one of the threw away one of little dragged the shoes from his chair onto the sofa. Since he was to sit on his chair. So before he took his position on his chair, he found there one of the shoes of his little child dragged. So he threw that the shoe onto the sofa, transferred upon the sofa. So picking up that the shoe which had been left by drag that the little child on the chair of his father. So when Sophie's father found that there was a shoe, one of the shoes of the little drag was already available there on the chair. He picked it up and threw it upon the sofa, and sat down with a grunt. The word grunt stands for heavy breathing here. Heavy, long breathing. And while sitting on his chair, he also took a long breath. Heavy, long breath. Okay. Sophie met Danny Casey, Geoff said. Now Geoff opened his voice before his father. Since those three persons were sitting in that room, so now Geoff opened his voice, and he told something about the meeting of his sister. Okay. Sophie regaled where she was sitting at the table. When Geoff told about Sophie's meeting with Danny Casey to his father, Sophie regaled means twisted her body, took a U-turn. So while sitting on the table, Sophie twisted herself. Sophie turned her face to her father. Okay, Her father turned his head on his thick neck to look at her. In order to look at her, in order to cast a glance at Sophie's face. Okay, her father also turned his face. Okay, also turned his head on his thick neck. So this the statement stands for here that in order to say something to Sophie, her father also turned his face to Sophie. His expression was one of disdain. Disdain means lack of respect, contempt. At that time, her father's expression lacked any kind of love and respect, and he started looking at her quite aggressively, okay, disrespectfully, since she did not want to listen to such kind of stories from her side. That's why he had no expression of love and respect at that moment, and he looked at her quite angrily. It's true, Job said. Job told his father that whatsoever she had told him, okay, was true, since she told him that she had already met delicacy and she was not telling a lie. It's true, Job said. Job told his father that his sister said. Job told his father said that his sister said that it was true and she had already met him. Okay. I once knew a man who had known Tom Finney. Tom Finney was also a great footballer, beta. His father said reverently means respectfully, to the television. Okay. So indicating to the television, their father, Sophie's father, we may say Sophie and Job's father, indicating to the television, Sophie and Job's father told something to his children very honorably, respectfully, that once he had already come to know about a man who had known Tom Finney, stands for here, who had already known Tom Finney also. So through this statement, beta, Sophie's father wanted to tell one thing, that once upon a time he had already seen a person named Tom Finney, okay, on the television, and that the person had been fully known to each and every person since he was a great footballer, though he has not mentioned such kind of description here, but that was a long time ago. He also told his children that it had all happened, okay, so many days ago, a long time ago. You told us, Job said. Job told his father that he had already told the story of that person, Tom Finney, to all the persons in his family. So beta, up to here we have read the chapter. The remaining part of this chapter will be discussed by us in the next lecture. Kindly read the next part of this chapter on your part in advance. Thank you.